Hey, what's up, man? Thank y'all for tuning in to National Sports Chat. You're now watching my take. And so I want to give my breakdown on what I think about this meaningless fight, to be honest. This is a fight that I don't think many people is clamoring for, which is why Kambosas was saying that he couldn't get some of the top arenas to host this fight. And to be honest, I believe it is as well. It's a fight that I think is a stay busy for Vasil Lomachenko. Now, most people get on me because I put in the comment section or in the title section how Lomachenko is very overrated. I think he's overrated. A lot of people said that he beat Devin Haney, but I didn't see it. I think Devin Haney beat him handily to the body most of the fight. But Lomachenko, he was a person that fought mediocre fighters, and he looked good doing it. And if uh Lomachenko was anybody else, they'd be calling him mediocre. They'd be calling him Adrian Broner. They'd be calling him somebody that's not that good. That man has 3 losses, but they tried to say that he was the best thing, um, pound for pound since sliced bread, I guess. And I didn't see it. I didn't see a number one fighter, especially the opponents that he was fighting, and nobody was holding him to a standard. And to be honest, the type of fighter that he was fighting is this same type of fighter. Although Devin Haney went to Australia to fight Kambosas, he still had to go there because he wanted to go for undisputed. But I believe that if Devin Haney had his chance to avoid Kambosas, he would have, because it wasn't outside of the belts a meaningful fight, right? George Kambosas is, to my knowledge, very mediocre. He's very mediocre. Like, yes, he beat Teofimo Lopez, but I want to say that he's going to be too slow for Vasil Lomachenko. Vasil Lomachenko is a fighter that is very quick. He's a really good counterpuncher. And not only that, he destroys mediocre fighters. That has been something that he's done throughout his whole career. So I don't see that there's going to be any type of resistance in this fight. I think George Kambosas believe that he have more of a chance than what he actually does. And I don't think so. I'm not one of those. I think he's going to be too slow for Vasil Lomachenko. I think Vasil Lomachenko is going to have his way. In fact, he might play around with him in the ring. And I can see that being the case. And he may embarrass George Kambosas. But this is a fight nobody is clamoring for. But I decided to talk about it because I love the sport of boxing. Now, I think if you ask me, it's changed. And it may not even be for the better. It may have changed for the worse. That's because everybody is afraid to lose. Nobody wants to fight the best fighters. And then on top of that, if you are one of them fighters that want to fight everybody, then you get punished. And I can name at least 3 fighters who have got punished for wanting to fight everybody. Okay, so you got Terrence Crawford, you got Deontay Wilder, and you have Devin Haney. All 3 of those fighters were hated. They are hated because Deontay Wilder wanted to fight um, Tyson Fury. He wanted to fight Anthony Joshua. He wanted to fight um, Alexander Usyk. He wanted to fight everybody, and they basically told him that he was a bum. Matter of fact, Deontay Wilder was a bum up until Tyson Fury beat him. Then they wanted to give uh, Deontay Wilder credit so they can big up Tyson Fury win. But to be honest, man, I think this fight it resurfaced. Vasil Lomachenko was supposed to fight him, but it wouldn't have been for undisputed. The undisputed only could be had with Devin Haney because Devin Haney had that other belt that was needed for George Kambosas to try to become undisputed. But Vasil Lomachenko, he was trying to say that this fight was for undisputed because he didn't want to end up fighting Devin Haney, which showed you why. Yes, he had some level of success in the 11th round, but he didn't do much of anything. He couldn't really, fight with Devin Haney um, the way that he wanted to. Because he had some success. But when I say he couldn't fight with him, I'm saying that he wasn't able to slip the jab. He wasn't able to turn Devin Haney around like he does most of his opponents. He wasn't able to do much of anything. He basically tried to do some of the stuff that he did versus other opponents, but Devin Haney got just as good as footwork as Vasyl Lomachenko did. So I think that frustrated Lomachenko. But how do I think that this fight is going to end? I personally believe that Vasyl Lomachenko will stop George Kambosas, which they will compare to Devin Haney. But I don't think that it goes the distance. And not only that, uh, I think George Kambosas is taking Haney, I mean not Haney, but Lomachenko, he's taking him for granted. I feel like he's the underdog, but I think he's taking an approach to where he feel like he's just gonna wash Vasyl Lomachenko. And that's not gonna be the case. You're not gonna be able to do that. I don't know what his game plan can be. Because versus Devin Haney, he had 2 times to prepare, but he ended up, you know, being whack at both of them. His game plan ended up not being a good one for Devin Haney. So I don't know what type of game plan he could come with for Vasyl Lomachenko. I just see Vasyl Lomachenko having his way, starting a little slow, but then finishing fast and stopping George Kambosas. And I'm gonna be honest, after that happens, what they need to be saying is, okay, it's time to retire, or you need to fight some mediocre fighters. I think George Kambosas is going to become the fighter that everybody fight, to get some work, to get busy, to stay relevant, to stay in top shape. Because I don't see him being one of them fighters to where somebody is going to put up a bunch of money, to fight him, because he's not that good of a fighter. And that's why I'm saying for somebody like Vasyl Lomachenko, he's going to get a lot of undeserved credit. But I think that it's just going to be because Kambosas fought Haney, and then they gonna want to big him up. Then they gonna want to make it seem like Lomachenko did some really amazing things. And to be honest, George Kambosas is mediocre at best, to be honest. So I don't even know how Teofimo Lopez lost to Kambosas. It could have been that he took him for granted as well. And that's what I think that Kambosas is doing for Lomachenko. But Lomachenko would definitely stop him. And that's just my prediction. And if I'm wrong, come back here and let me know. But I think that Lomachenko would be too much for him, and they're fighting for a belt. I believe it's the WB belt. What is it? It's the is it the IBF belt? I believe the IBF belt. So it would be a belt on the line, and I think Lomachenko would try to fight for undisputed, but I think that Shakur would be in the way. And as we seen, he don't want to fight Shakur Stevenson. So I think that Vasyl Lomachenko will look to be strategic with the fighters that he fight moving forward. So I don't see him doing much of anything. I just believe that Vasyl Lomachenko will win this fight handily, and it won't even be any type of resistance because I don't believe in George Kambosas. I believe that he's just not good, man. He's just not good. Like I'm trying to figure out ways to try to big him up, but I can't come up with none. He's a person. He talked, they get the gap. He had his moment, his 15 minutes of shine. And now you just see like this dude, he's really nothing in the sport of boxing. So I think Vasil Lomachenko wins by stoppage, and he's going to end up fighting somebody that we don't even want him to fight again. And then after that, maybe he may face a Shakur Stevenson, but he got to do what he has to do, meaning that um, he's going to have to start fighting some of these elite fights like the Javante Davises, and he's going to have to fight Shakur Stevenson, especially if he's staying in that division. So I see that they still trying to move him strategically, but to be honest, it's not going to help his resume. But that's just me, my opinion. But appreciate y'all tuning in. It's the National Sports Chat, and that was my take. And hopefully y'all subscribe to the page. As my invitation. If not, I appreciate you for tuning in anyway.